Yo, we are live and staying. Going over all of college football today. Obviously, we do have one game on today. We have one game tomorrow even, which is Florida State, but that's going to be just a wash-ass game. We're not going to pay attention to that. But we are going to pay attention is today's game we're going to go over. So we are going to go over that, but we are going to do kind of a recap. Nick does this with the NFL every week, where he'll go through and talk about every game. I'm probably not going to do this every week of college football, but I think I'm going to do it enough, especially going over the bets we had. I'm going to always be doing a full recap of all the bets we had. So that is going to be the main thing that we do I think it'll probably be Mondays because we'll do after Sunday. So we'll go over the Sunday, Saturday slate. If we bet on Friday games, we'll also go over the Thursday games that we bet on from the week before. All on that Monday, but today, obviously, we have yesterday's games and Thursday's games to kind of glance over. How you doing, Jimothy? Fuck with the beanie? Thank you. Per usual, always got the beanie rocking. Yeah, Syracuse, a lot of people, okay, I'll start with the YouTube video stuff. Also, I'll look at the Pikkit first. This is Pikkit. If you're not on Pikkit, make sure to join using code BDGE. We're going to be looking at this screen a lot today. Kind of going through each bet, how many units I put on what, and where I got the bonuses, or what I did with blah, 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 blah. Make sure you're using code BDG when you sign up on Pikkit, because you'll be able to tail me. Not only to be able to tail me, you'll be able to tail Tony, you'll be able to tail JMO, you'll be able to tail Nick, or whatever bets we have for week 1, week 2, week 3, college football, NBA, MLB, whatever the fuck we're placing bets on. You guys can tail over there or fade us, whatever it is, or just follow along for the journey. But you can sync your own book. You also can track your own bets. So again, like you see a screen like this is me from this week. You can track your own bets, see where you are. And for the most part, it's pretty accurate. I always think syncing your books is the smartest thing to do. It doesn't track, and what I found out yesterday, bonus bets, it doesn't track. So if you place a unit, like this is a bonus bet. I put 2 units on it. It should have been only 1 unit because the second unit was bonus, so it wasn't even like my money. So that's where I'm kind of a little bit confused. I talked to Cole about it. Maybe we can get it figured out. I also put a bonus bet on the other bet we lost. Like I had 2 Julian Flemings here that you can see. One of these is not my money. One of them is the bonus bet from DK. So again, trying to get that figured out to where I shouldn't. Yesterday it says I went down. We can maybe go to the home screen. Yeah, yesterday it says like I went down. But again, I should have a plus unit here, and I should have a plus unit here. So technically, I should be up like 1 point some units between the MLB. We went down 0.5 in MLB yesterday. We went up, I think it was 1.7 in the college football as we went 3-2, and then we got the plus bonus for the plus 130. We got the plus 130. The biggest thing I can suggest and advise and all that sort of shit is making sure you're taking advantage of the promos that they're giving you. Right now, DK is giving out a ton of promos. FanDuel is giving out a ton of promos. Even guys like who are my close friends that are not betting as frequently, but they're like, how'd you get this bet for plus 120? How'd you get this bet for plus 130? It's because right now in the beginning of NFL season, in the beginning of college football season, in the prime of the MLB at least, and with NBA coming up, there are going to be so many opportunities to make easy money, free money, like you saw yesterday I posted on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, go follow me on Twitter. Yesterday I posted this. We can go look at it, where it was an easy cash I did on the Bets channel, which I don't have logged in, but we can find it here. On the Bets channel yesterday, I posted a Cade Klubnik, Jalen Monroe line. Again, on Underdog, using code BDG when you sign up. You'll get a free square where it looks like this. I think you'll get a Travis Kelce one for week 1. Not only that, you'll also get a Lamar Jackson one for week 1. So if you want 2 of these, where we have for Jalen Monroe, but we had this one yesterday, make sure you're using code BDG. You'll also deposit match you up to $1,000. So if you want a free thou wow, go do that. But the Jalen Monroe line, for me, it was like 0.5, and I was like, okay, pair with the K Klubnik under. These are the type of things you'll see all year long, all season long. You'll get free lines of where you pair with 1 bet, you cash out double the money. It's a 2-leg parlay. So for this, I put $10 on it, and I make 3 units. Yeah, you could go down a unit, but it's very rare. When you have a bet you feel really lucky about, I love the K Klubnik line. I also got it for plus money if we go to Pikkit. I also got it for plus money. Where is it? right here on FanDuel. They had a Clemson Georgia bonus. So placed the bet, got plus money, made 1.3 units there. He obviously went very under this line of only having 142. And quite frankly, it wasn't even close. You can see the bonus right here. I wonder if they have that for my bonus bets. No, they don't have it. They just have an L. All right, yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll talk to Cole about it. But for now, it works out. You're fine. You can see the units. We're still up on a week. It's fine. Last month was kind of rough. I went on a really bad MLB skid. But again, NCAA, we're up. We're 5-2 right now. Again, it says 5-3 because of that stupid Julian Fleming bonus bet. But we'll figure that the fuck out. We'll figure that out. But we're 5-2 on official plays that I post on Twitter, on Pikkit, whatever the case is. And we're rolling in college. And I feel great about the plays we have today. Today we have, let's get out of this screen. Today we have 2 bets that I feel very confident about. We have Garrett Nussmeier. Love this spot at 280, or on Underdog we have 282. He is a quarterback that is right now in the Heisman race, in big contention for it. Is going to be a gunslinger. He's a very fast release. He's very good read timing. What I mean by that is he gets to his first read very quickly. He's a guy that you can rely on to make these smart throws at the right times. He showed very good glimpses. You could read the write-up as I'm yapping about it. But Nussmeier looked really good when he came in for Jaden last year. He's never had the full starting role, but I think this year he can. Obviously, they play a USC team who just got a new defensive coordinator, as you can read, Dayton. I think it's Dayton, however you want to say it. Lynn. He was at UCLA before, but they gave up over 230 pass yards per game, and now they're playing a super talented LSU team. In this LSU offense, they have 2 first-round tackles this year. Again, Jaden had the best of both worlds of 2 first-round wide receivers and 2 first-round tackles. Now Nussmeier is stuck with just 2 first-round tackles, but they brought in CJ at wide receiver. They also have the other player we're betting on at wide receiver, who I really like today, in Kyron Lacey, over 68.5 receiving yards. You can get that at, I think, at 70 as well on Underdog. Either way, both of these I feel great about. Kyron Lacey's all the way up to 72.5, so make sure you take advantage and snag that. I like it all the way up to 75. CJ Daniels is another good one I really like. I like both of these guys. I think it's going to be a huge passing day. Sorry, we're yapping in the chat. What is everybody saying? Was not about to pay rent, living out of a box. I turned off Miley Cyrus for this. That's how much the love is real. What's going on, Sam? Trey Sam, enough. He's the anti-AT. Was on point yesterday, Guttis. Yep. We stay on point. The college bets went 2-0 again on Thursday, and then we went 3-2 yesterday, and looking to go 2-0 today. DJ Daniels I like today. Kyron Lacey I like today. Both the LSU wide receivers. I think Garrett's going to have a massive day against this bad USC defense. They didn't really upgrade a ton. Honestly, the Miller Moss over 2 is really good. I don't love it as much because I don't know enough about Miller Moss. Haven't seen enough really out of him. Haven't looked into his tape at all. Haven't really looked into much about him. But with Miller Moss, the LSU defense gave up a fuck ton of passing yards last year, about 260 per game. So, again, this feels like a great line. USC still is uber talented on the offensive end. Defensive end is the little shaky part. But, again, they got a new defensive coordinator. So, we'll see. The over-under on this game is 64.5. So, Vegas thinks it's going to be insanely high scoring, and I agree. I don't know if it'll reach the 64.5 mark, but I know it will be probably in the 30s, a 35, 28, 33, 32 type of game, where it's going to be very high scoring, going to be close. I think both teams could end up easily over that 30 mark. So, if anything, I would stay away from the over-under line. But for these, I like these lines for show. And then, again, we have FSU at BC tomorrow. I don't know if I'm really touching this game. If anything, I just fade DJ. He fucking stinks. I don't know. I don't know enough about BC. I haven't really looked into that too much for now. But, yeah, those are the picks I like today. A few people are on the Woody Marks lines, taking advantage of the Woody Marks. A lot of people are doing this. So, if you want to add that, I'm not going to say don't. It's an interesting shot. LSU's rush defense has been a little bit better in the past, but their pass defense has been so bad, they're probably going to focal point that today. So, this isn't a bad shout at all. All right, continuing on. Can I pitch a futures bet when the NFL stream happens? Sure. We're going live also on Thursday with all the boys on the channel. doing NFL preview stuff. But we're going to go over a lot of the games from yesterday. Go over the games we bet on, where we went wrong, where we went right, and kind of go from there on the predictions. We're going to go into our futures of how we're feeling, how we're living, all that sort of stuff. So right now we have top 25 filtered for the game. Obviously, we had last weekend. That was week 1. But Thursday, didn't really have much going on here that I really want to talk about in the top 25. Oklahoma, sure. Georgia game is where we're going to start. The Clemson, K Klubnik under. We obviously smashed that line bet. If you took Phil, you hooked on the under. I think his line was set at like 62.5. He finished at 59. I think that was a good bet, though. They tried to run him the rock. They gave him a lot of opportunities. This Georgia defense just is so damn good, which is why we ended up fading Klubnik. I think in the future, not facing Georgia, we can smash Phil's line. They clearly want to get him involved. He was the focal point of this offense. They wanted to get him going. He's a very good running back. Obviously, facing Georgia, it's really hard to look great when you can stack so many in the box because Cade really sucks. But yeah, so he's a guy that I'm very interested in, Phil, in betting on in the future. Carson Beck did not hit his over. I think it was at 278 on the dot, if I'm not mistaken. It was around here for sure. He might have hit it over by a little bit if he got it like 276. I want to say it was either 280 or 278, like right here. But he had a great game nonetheless, 8.4 average, 2 touchdowns. I was going to bet the over on touchdowns. Well, I didn't, but it would have hit anyway. Georgia, obviously, they have a carousel of just what the fuck is going on. This game was a blowout. There's so many people in and out. There's not really much to look at. London Humphreys, obviously a solid game as well, more of a deep field guy. That's pretty much all to really say on the Georgia-Clemson game. It was an absolute blowout. As a Clemson fan, it was really, really, really hard to watch. Hurt the soul, to say the least. Ohio State, I just want to go over for one case. And I told you guys yesterday this, and I think it's very, very transparent today. I told you yesterday, I was like, if there's one guy to watch with this Ohio State team, it is Jeremiah Smith. That his line is 50.5. I think he's absolutely going to smash that. I don't think Emeka is going to be the one anymore. I think it's going to be Smith. I kept saying it. And if you look at what happened, some are saying, I think Emeka is great. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to be the one in this offense. Jeremiah is so dominant. He dropped his first pass, started with a false start. I get it. Didn't have a great start, but then he absolutely picked it up. He had some great snags. His cans are insane. His route running felt smooth. He's a true freshman. I understand he's beaten up on Akron, and it's not going to look like it's that hard a competition, but he looks like he can really do damage as a true freshman, 18 years old, doing some very serious damage. So he's a guy we're going to look out for. Definitely going to bet on in the future, depending on where his lines are set. If Emeka is continuously over Smith, I'm going to continue to take it. I really wish I would have taken it. My gut was so on it. I just was worried about blowout potential, if he was really going to see the snaps, all that sort of stuff. As a true freshman, it's hard to really bet on. Will Howard played fine. This is kind of the stat line I'm going to expect from him on a regular basis. About 220, whatever. Lean more into the run game. Obviously, these two together are fucking nuts. QJ and Travion are going to be just an insane duo from here on out. Such a talented team all the way around. Akron can suck nuts. They are just not very good. You think Emeka is still going to be a first rounder? Probably not. What's going on, Mario? I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to fall throughout the season. I think right now the hype's on him. He's also older. He came back for an extra year. It's really hard for me to see him going in the first round. I don't think the talent's entirely there. If it was, it would have shown over the past few seasons, and it just really hasn't. He had a little bit of a flash 2 years ago, but I don't think he's going to be a first rounder. No. I saw someone put on their power board. He's like the wide receiver 3 in this class, and I'm just like, that's insane. Insane. Anyway, Oregon had a tough time versus Idaho. Kind of scary. How they have like 500 yards of offense. Damn near 500 yards of offense, and they just can't score. I don't know. I watched some of the game, didn't watch all of it. Tez is just going to be PPR monster. Absolute god. He's my favorite receiver on this team. I think Evan Stewart's the better receiver. I think Tez just is more flashy, slot guy, going to see a ton of the targets, going to see the yards, going to see the touchdowns. Obviously, that all panned out yesterday. I think that's going to be his role. He's going to be the one in this offense. Evan Stewart has more the NFL build. Tez is more skinny guy, 160 pounds, slot speedster. We'll see how it goes. Cool, fatal error. That's absolutely sick. Well, that is really cool. ESPN, let's dial it in, my boy. All right, that was sick. Yeah, so Oregon, Dylan Gabriel looked great. We obviously took his over on the year, 400 yards to start. That feels fantastic. 49 attempts. Feels fantastic. So taking his over, I feel really good about that on a season long. If you took Tez's season long, I know I encourage some people to do it. It's only at 1,000 yards. I feel good about that. After an 81-yard performance, he's going to have bigger games down the road as well. If we move on, Texas game, not even going to glance over. It just was an absolute boshing. Not even close. Arch Manning got in the game. Had a good game for, again, playing Colorado State, though. So not much to take out of there. Isaiah Bond's going to be fucking him, and we can move on. Not much to really see there. It was an absolute blowout. That's going to be the course of most of these games. Now, this one fucking pisses me off. You're playing an absolute nobody, and you run the ball more than you pass it. I understand he's a running back. I understand whatever, but this is the most unnatural thing you'll ever see in your life. And he would have hit the over even without his 40-yard run, because I was like, dude, he had one 40-yard run, and then he's going to be done. They played him long into this game, way longer. It was 42-0 at halftime. I was expecting him to be absolutely done by then. He rushed the ball 10 times. Don't see why. You're beating a team 42-0. Just throw it away, stay healthy, but you know, it is what it is. 9 passing attempts for 200 yards is fucking nuts. Ryan Williams is the talk of the town. Everybody's glazing over him. Dynasty darling. Oh my God, he's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. He's 17 years old, which is why he's 17 by he's going to turn 18 in like a month. So he's not that young, but he is very young. 17 years old and 2 receptions for 139 yards on a team they beat 63-0. I'm not looking as far into. Obviously, he's fast. He looks smooth. He looks good. But at 17 years old, I do worry about a few things, but I think he can develop for show. I would like to see him against good teams, and we'll kind of see. Everyone's like, oh, Alabama's back. They're going to be good. They played a fucking nobody. Western Kentucky ain't doing shit. Sorry. Now, here's the fucking... I understand this is a blowout, but I want to go over it real quick because we took the over on Jackson Dart, and brother had 418 yards and damn near 400 yards in the first half. Yeah, this is fucking nuts. His stat line's nuts. Trey Harris is absolutely nuts. Totally broken. Antoine Wells is... This team is so fucking good. I understand they played Furman. Yo, with the fucking fatal errors, we got to stop. I understand. This team is so good. I can't wait to watch him play the rest of the season. Jackson Dart is him. We'll wait. We'll wait and see. Obviously, it's only Furman. Can't get too ahead of ourselves. Notre Dame, Texas A&M. Now, this is an interesting game, close game. I was expecting the upset from Texas A&M. Everyone's like, oh, Notre Dame's a playoff team now. I'm like, no, it's just Connor Wegman fucking stinks, and that's what we discovered. Connor Wegman actually was bad. They don't trust him to throw the rock. The coaches don't trust him to throw the rock, which is why they gave Le'Veon Moss 20 carries, only 70 yards, only averaging these. Like, you just don't want to be running the ball when that's your average. Jeremiah Love looked good. Obviously, the main running back there. No one really behind him. Jadarian Prince got some touches, but Riley Leonard was able to scoot a little bit. A little scoot and stain, but it was kind of midday overall. Like, I don't think either of these teams played fantastic. Texas A&M defense kept them at bay for most of the game, but just it came down to Connor Wegman being absolutely fucking booty cheeks the entirety of the game. I don't think Notre Dame is that good. I think they will not make the playoff this year. Next, I think Texas A&M is just that bad this year, which sucks to say. Penn State. All the Drew Allure, however the fuck you want to say it. Everyone's like, oh, God, you're saying it wrong. How do they say it? Drew Aller. There it is. 216 yards. This all came in the first half. He had 199 at the end of the first half. They were absolutely smacking them. They had a 4-hour break or some shit between the game. I watched the first half, and I watched the second half in the fucking evening. Kind of crazy. But Nick Singleton had himself a day. He took off the second half. First half was kind of slow for him. Drew Allure had some good scoots. Looking a little elusive for a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback. Harrison Wallace. Now, this is the talk because I bet on it. Harrison Wallace was clearly the one in this offense. The outside guy was clearly the one in this offense. And everyone's like, oh, did your boy Julian Fleming take snaps? Did he even play? No targets. What the fuck? Yeah, look at the targets and how they're divided up here. Very thin. 12 total receptions among the team. So it wasn't like we had 11 completions total. It wasn't like we had a lot to go around on this Penn State team. Something to note on like later in the future, but only 12 receptions for an entire fucking game is kind of nuts. Among the receivers, 5 of them went to Harris Wallace. And listen, Fleming played no slot targets, 0 slot targets. I would say he played, if I had to guess, I don't have the percentages in front of me, I would say he probably played 63% of the game. He was in the game for most of the game. Doing slot motions, going to the outside in the motion, taking a corner with him, taking a safety with him, getting that open field, which opened up Harris Wallace, opened up Nick Singleton runs. They ran a ton of RPO, which I expected, but none of it benefited the slot, and that's you live and you learn. And I don't think he really had a chance there in that offense, and we're not going to bet on him in the future. Sadly, that's how it is. I think he's still the most talented receiver on this roster. Simply didn't get the opportunity against West Virginia. West Virginia on the other side, a lot of people bet Garrett Green over rushing yards. Obviously, not what you want to see. He struggled, and that kind of happens against a Penn State defense, which I said in the beginning is going to be absolutely stifling. This Penn State defense is scary. They are good. Abdul Carter is fucking amazing. This team is going to be one of the playoff teams, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure, especially if Drew Allar keeps absolutely torching everything. Or Drew Aller, and we'll see how that continues. All right, we have a lot of yapping in the comments. We'll go look at this now. Who is wide receiver 3? Tez is a better version of Troy Franklin. Yeah, Tez or Evan Stewart are my wide receiver 3 right now. Any thoughts on Nebraska this season? We're going to go over them in a second in their game and my thoughts. 140 versus Western Kentucky defense. Yeah. Kyle McCoy for Heisman. We'll go through all that. Is Fleming a bust? Yeah, no, he was running cardio, and that just kind of like was how it was. And that's how the game paces sometimes. When you have a new offensive coordinator, it's really hard to pin it down. I thought I could nail it. Michigan struggled against Fresno State. They're not even going to be ranked by the end of the season. I'm sorry. They looked bad. They played bad, and they let Fresno State hang around. And Fresno State played good. I mean, they didn't play bad. They're going against a Michigan defense, but it's more just Davis sucked. Yeah, and the running game was there, but it wasn't fully there. Kind of worried me a little bit. The receiving game, receivers, like, again, it looks good on the stat sheet, but it did not look good in real time. And that's what I'm worried about. Again, you can look at a stat sheet and be like, oh, they beat them 10-30. This came off a pick 6. This offense always scored 23 points. Against Fresno State, that is very worrisome. Fatal error to lick my fucking nuts. Let's go back to ESPN. God damn, this fatal error is really annoying. The Michigan team scares me. I watched most of the game, but didn't look hot on either end. Did not look hot. When the passing and receiving leader are both on Fresno State, not Michigan, you don't love to see that. You can tell there's a big difference between Harbaugh, a Harbaugh offense and a Harbaugh defense compared to Michigan now. So we'll see how they end up, but I think they're going to drop a little bit in the ranking here this week. Tennessee, I'm not going to waste either of our times. You see the score, and that tells the story. Tennessee's going to be good this year, period. Oklahoma State, like I said with Jack on the couch, this team is going to run through Ollie Gordon. He was inefficient as they stacked 8 in the fucking box. The fatal errors have got to stop. As they stack the box every goddamn time. He had 27 carries for 103 yards. And this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like for this Oklahoma State team. We took the future on Ollie. I think he's still going to hit over 100 yards to start. He started last season with 9 yards in the first game, so obviously a better pace to hit over the 1,400 mark. I think he's going to. Alec Bowman didn't look bad. Again, senior fifth-year quarterback that's going to be able to lead this team and just be able to hand the rock off 27 times, which they're going to seem to do every single game, put up 44 points. It was a closer game than I would have expected, but nonetheless, they got the dub. Really ought to matter. Now, here's the one that breaks. Yo, can we fucking dial it in? Am I going to have to go to a different site? Like, what the hell is going on? Where's a different site that I can just look at all the college football stuff easier than ESPN? Because this shit's nuts. All right, fatal error. Stop, please. For the love of God, it's so annoying. Florida looked like shit. Cam Ward, he's fucking arrived, baby. He looked great. DJ Lagaway looks better than Graham Mertz, and I think he's going to play more. DJ should be playing. He's a more talented player. Graham Mertz looked fucking scared as shit to throw the ball. QB Harv, obviously, 19.1. Never good. Cam Ward had a good day. Cam Ward was able to scoot a little bit. 3 carries, 33 yards. One of those came off a big 24-yard rush. Damian Martinez looked solid. He gave him 15 carries, but he didn't play the full game. Along with Cam Ward, didn't even play the full game and almost had 400 yards. This Miami team is going to be good this year. Better than I anticipated. I didn't think they were going to be that great, but it kind of just looks like Florida's going to be fucking hot cheeks. Sorry, J-Mo. Yeah, it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. The last game, Iowa, I'm not going to fucking touch. It's Illinois State. This game was interesting. New Mexico's no schlob, but they're not great either. But the two people we want to look at are Noah here and obviously McMillan. And McMillan, God damn it, dude. What the hell? I just want to look at scores. Is it that much to ask, ESPN? Hold on. Let's look at chat. Is there anything? Try NCAA, see if it works better. All right. I'm going to do that. Because this is nuts. I have a lot to yap about, and I want to get through it. If I get another fatal error, scoreboard week 1. Okay. Dub. I can look at all conferences, too. Okay. We're going back to, that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. Where are we at? Arizona, New Mexico. Little box score looks a little bit different here. We go to Arizona. Obviously, when we look at passing, Noah had a fucking great game, 422 yards, 4 touchdowns, and literally McMillan was left wide open for most of the game. He had a big catch, 78 yards. That was an absolute bomb. He also had a 50-yard catch or 48-yard catch where he literally took up the sideline. No one was even near him. So that was an interesting play in itself. Just a broken coverage, but he did have 10 receptions, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. If you took his over on the season, you're in great shape. He's the second best receiver in this entire class. I don't really think it's close. He's going to continue to absolutely eat this season. I'm excited about this Arizona team. It's going to look pretty good, which I'm excited to say. Did I miss any other games here? Bucknell, Navy. No. UConn, Maryland. Blowout. Pittsburgh, Kent State. No. Towson, Cincinnati. No. Indiana, no. Nebraska, here we go. Nebraska, UTEP. This is another interesting game everyone was polarizing on. Everyone was asking me questions about. So we'll get into it. Talk of the town, Dylan Raiola. Yeah, he's fucking good, dude. He's really good. The fact that he had 200 yards in the first half and then didn't play like at all the second half, yeah, no, that's fucking nice. He's good. And Isaiah Nair's also turned it on. He's a senior this year. So is Jamal Banks. So both of them are going to be the big impacts on this team. Down the stretch, we didn't have much happening from the receiver side of things. Just a bunch of one catchers and stuff. But Nair's going to be the main guy. Banks is going to be the main guy. And Dylan Raiola looks so Mahomey, it hurts. He's going to be good. He's a cannon arm. Can put it anywhere on the field. He's a 5-star for a reason. Best quarterback in this class for a reason. Emmett Johnson played a bunch of fucking rough snaps, but Dante Dowd's going to be the main guy here, I would say. He got 8 carries, 55 yards in the first half. Looked really good. Amir Johnson, the younger guy out of the two, 11 attempts, 50 yards. These are going to be probably your two main backs. I don't think Emmett Johnson's really going to do much. That was more second half of the game. But we'll definitely bet on Nebraska going forward here. Then we move on to Syracuse. Syracuse, obviously, everyone was hating after the first half because after the first half, what the fuck? Can we dial in? After the first half, first quarter, everyone was like, oh my God, Kyle McCord is like 6 yards. I think he had like 23 or some shit. And everyone's like, oh my God, he's ass. He almost threw 2 picks on the first drive. He was so rattled. Can't do anything. He stinks. 354 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'm not saying it. You can say it. He's good. He's good. And I said this from the beginning, and I meant it when I said it. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. I don't think he's someone that's going to. Oh wait, you guys might be able to hear that. I don't mean to do that. You guys can hear the fucking ads. Anyway. Yeah. So he's not going to be a quarterback that does a lot to create plays or do any of that, but he's going to be a great systematic quarterback in now an easier division. He's played against Michigan. He's played against Penn State. He's played against Ohio State. He knows the big games. He's seen the big games. He's been in the big games. Played against Notre Dame. Now he's playing against Ohio. Now he's playing against I think Pittsburgh is next week. He's playing against teams that are not nearly as good in the ACC, that don't have as good of a defense, and have weak defenses, weak passing defenses. Ohio was horrible as they got exposed as they should have. McCord is going to have games like this way more often, ceiling games of 354, 400 yards, where last year he didn't have those. He had games of maybe like 230, 280 was his big game. That was like his ceiling. Where now he's going to give him games of 300. Getting him at 2,500 yards on the season feels fantastic. Very happy we did that. All right. Next game. Boise State. Everyone wants to talk about Gentry. Obviously, great game. Ashton Gentry, 20 carries, 267 yards, 6 touchdowns. Georgia Southern fucking stinks. I want to see it against a good team. Sorry. Running backs, it's a little different. I'm harder to love than I am quarterbacks. I want to see it against a good team. Other games that are pointing out to me that I am missing off the top of the dome that I should talk about, about. Yeah, this game was nuts. UCLA officially stinks, officially big ass cheeks. That is absolutely nuts. Kentucky blowout, Georgia Tech, all the usual here down the line. Washington blowout, Mexico State blowout. All right. Covered most of the games I wanted to cover today. Obviously, these games all happen on Friday. Blowouts. Again, it's week 1. A lot to talk about, a lot to yap about. Going to be interesting down the road. Colorado's a team I'm excited to see how they keep doing. But today, obviously, we have the Boston College. Today, we have, USC and LSU. Tomorrow, we have the Boston College Florida State game. Those are going to be interesting. So, pretty hype to see on that. Thoughts on LSU minus 4.5? Thoughts on Washington State scoring 70? Yeah, no, that was fucking nuts. Scoring 70 points in a game at any point in time is nuts. I mean, it's also Portland State, but yeah. 70 points is fucking wild. I do like LSU minus 4.5. I think they beat this game. I think they win this game pretty comfortably. I don't see USC being much of a challenge. I think they shouldn't even be ranked, if I'm going to be very honest. Losing Caleb Williams, that was their entire team. So it's going to be tough. Obviously, we do have bets for today, so make sure you keep track of that. Make sure you're on top of that. Yo, bets today. Yeah, we got, obviously, Karen Lacey. We got Garrett Newsmeyer. We got Bryce Miller. And we got Uriel Rodriguez. And again, if you're looking at this and you're like, what app is this? Well, it's Pikkit. You can get Pikkit and download using code BDGE when you sign up. You'll follow me, you'll follow Nick, you'll follow all the fucking boys. You'll be able to tail our bets. You'll be able to look at our bets. You'll be able to track your bets on your own. So you can keep track of what you're going up, what you're going down. Or if you just kind of want to see some cool graphs. Because sometimes that's really cool to just see some cool fucking graphs. Or if you want to see you're dominating in one or the other sport, that you can also look at as well. But again, if you're looking at the plus 130 I have, plus 132, that's not their normal lines. That's the boosts we got because of DraftKings and because of FanDuel. They're doing boosts right now, so make sure you go take advantage. They also have a 50% boost on MLB plays, which is what I got the Uriel Rodriguez walks for. Bryce Miller's the only one I got a regular line of minus 145. So make sure you guys take advantage. Make sure you guys dial the fuck in. I'm about to be done MLB plays here in about a month. I'll probably do a month left of MLB plays going into the playoffs. Might do some playoff plays, but for the most part, it's going to be NBA, college football, NFL. I'm going to be doing a ton of fucking research for those, so I'm not going to have as much time to do MLB. But yeah, we're going to dial it in. I'm also way better at betting NBA and NFL than I am MLB, so I won't torture you guys anymore with the MLB plays. Yeah, fading MLB for me is like, it's dub. It's so nice. Like, you guys should do it. I highly recommend. But that is everything we get to go over. Next week, NFL bets. We are fucking going to be lit. Thursday, we're going to be live at 6 p.m. on this channel. We're going to be in the office with all the boys, me, Tony, Nick, and JMO. We're going to be going over the prop bets for not only Thursday's games. We're going to be going over what everyone's taking. You're going to be able to see all of our bets on Pikkit. We're going to go over lines from pretty much all the books, UD, all that sort of stuff. So we have a lot to go over this week. The NFL Thursday night slate looks pretty good. Going to be a good game. Lines are close. Lines are moving fast. I had a lot of bets from last week that I made into like a TikTok, I think, with Nick. those bets already moved. So I'm going to start posting bets on Twitter on Pikkit probably within a day or so. Probably like Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll post 1 or 2, sprinkle it in there, and then Thursday and Wednesday night you'll get a ton of lines and plays. But make sure you guys are on Pikkit using the Pikkit app, getting your graphs, looking at what you guys can see, following us, doing all the fun shit. You can see all these cool lines. You see closing line percentages, all that sort of stuff. If you're into all that inner smart shit of betting, you can do it all on Pikkit. So make sure you take advantage. Follow us as well, and it will be lit. You can track all of your own bets, see how much you have, return on investment. Pretty sick. I have LSU today, Tyler. I have LSU. They're -4 right now. I would take the -4. I would take their money line as well. And I have 2 bets on the game. Real quick, again, I'll go over one more time for you. Garrett, Uriel, Bryce, Kyron. Obviously 2 of those MLB, but Kyron and Garrett are the 2 I have for the game for today. Those are the 2 guys I like. Ended up -30 units in August. How'd you end up -30 units? Dub. Hey, listen, those happen. I remember Alex was telling me back in January, Alex Caruso went down 66 units in 1 month. Kind of crazy. But yeah. But we'll see. All right. Make sure you guys tune in, lock in, dial the fuck in, and I will catch you guys on Thursday. Stay well. Love you guys. Sign up on Pikkit, code BDG. Sign up on Underdog. Use code BDGE.